funny how things come full circle, isn't it? After years of Nest speakers and kind of getting rid of the Google Home speaker brand, here we are back with the Google Home speaker. Just landed in the office this morning and super excited to get this thing unboxed. Obviously, the review portion of this will take a little bit of time to just use it and see what's all going on with this speaker. But we'd really like to get it at least set up, see how it sounds, and see how it looks on the table and stuff. So without further ado, let's get in here. All right. So undoubtedly, if you're watching this, you've probably seen something about the Google Home speaker. And this device took longer than we expected to kind of arrive. It was teased at the hardware show back in August of last year. If you remember, it showed up like on a side table next to a couch, and everybody was really excited about it. But Google specifically has said in some interviews since that they spent plenty of time making sure that Gemini specifically was actually ready for this thing. And yeah, that's cool looking. Recycled fibers and all that kind of stuff on the top. So this looks a lot like the Nest Audio, the smaller Google Home. Like there were Nest Minis and Google Home Minis, and like it's just been kind of a naming nightmare over the last few years. And then for me, I thought until Gemini came along, like smart speakers were just kind of on the way out because they weren't very smart anymore. And so that was a little annoying for a while. But again, we've come full circle. We're back to just Google Home speaker. And so it's not mini, it's not audio, it's not Max, which we still have the Google Home Max, still love that thing. But hopefully this one is ready for kind of the AI insurrection that's happening. Hopefully Google has put enough hardware in here for this thing to keep up for a long time. And the idea is if Gemini is in a good spot, Gemini Live, which you get free for 6 months if you buy one of these. And I can tell you really quickly before we do anything else with this, I pulled it up because honestly Google's naming and plans and all that kind of stuff just are really hard to follow. So I had to ask Gemini on my phone. Is Google Home Premium Standard, which is what you would need to have Gemini Live on this, is included in my current Google AI One plan. And it is included in AI Pro. And then if you have AI Ultra, you get the advanced plan. So the Google Home Advanced plan, it's Google. So they're going to have 8 plans for different things. They are included in these AI plans. We shouldn't have any problem testing out the features and all that kind of stuff with this. And again, if you don't have any of those things and you don't like paying for AI or any of that stuff, but you do want to give Gemini a try, Gemini Live specifically a try, which is going to give you the conversational ability with this thing. That Google said that this thing got pushed back a little bit because they wanted to make sure Gemini Live conversation, like continued conversation, is ready on this thing. And if it all works, and again, we're not going to solve that in this video, so please don't expect that. But if it all does work the way that Google wants, and the way that Google's expecting, my thought is that all of a sudden this becomes what we always hoped smart speakers would be, this very conversational thing that you can just kind of talk to. If you pull up thoughts of like Iron Man, Tony Stark talking to his various assistants over the time. Jarvis is the main one before it, whatever. I'm not going to get nerdy on that, but him just being able to speak to it like another human being, just being able to say, hey, what's this and how do I do this, and carry on a conversation with that AI. If that can happen, even at a small level, I think Google will have accomplished something pretty profound and pretty awesome and pretty usable. So let me get this thing plugged in and set up. It's going to take us a few minutes to do that, obviously. But I just want to know what it sounds like. It looks great. I think it's just going to sit on a shelf and kind of just be out of the way. It's got a basic USB-C receiver, so no more hunting for the specific dongle that goes into it. And it is actually hardwired in here. So instead of putting the wire on the power brick and then making it be a barrel and hook into here, or finding a USB-C port on here and having people trying to plug stuff in, this thing's just connected. Because honestly, when are you going to use it without a cable? It's not a battery-powered device. So, I like what I'm seeing already. We do have a mute switch down here, by the way, which I know a lot of people really, really like, and you definitely want, every once in a while, you just need to be like, hey, look, I need to make sure this thing's not listening to me. Then you have the kind of LED strip down here. So I'm curious to see how bright that is, what it actually looks like on the table, turned on, up and going. But I do prefer what they've done here with the power, because if you lose this brick, you find another brick that works and you'll be fine. So I know with previous Nest and Google Home stuff, you had that very specific block, and if you somehow like moved or whatever, misplaced it, you're just kind of out of luck. That's just not going to be the case anymore with this one. So anyway, let me get this thing plugged in, logged in. We'll get some audio samples off of it, kind of look at this LED, and then start preparing for what it was going to look like to do a review on this thing. That's so fun.
Hi. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
We have it, thanks. Okay, I didn't know if we had touch on top or not. Just a quick break in the whole setup process. As we plugged it in, as soon as I opened the Google Home app, this notification toast popped up, and little stuff like that matters, because ultimately setup of these things historically has sometimes been problematic. So far so good. Gonna keep setting stuff up now. There we go. I love a quick QR code scan to continue setup. Makes things so much easier. So much easier. I also really love the LED. And now granted, this is a white table, so it's really kind of popping off of there, but like the glow, and it like glows around, and like it's really cool looking. This is another fun thing that kind of just showed up in the setup process. Compatible speakers, displays can alert you when they detect sounds like smoke, carbon monoxide alarms, glass breaking, all that kind of stuff. I would assume it just sends you a notification to your phone, says, hey, look, I heard this, something's going on, you might want to check out your house. So pretty cool addition here. And I believe that this feature is part of that 6-month trial that I mentioned earlier, and or if you have the AI Pro plan, you can get this. So I maybe spoke too quickly, because I actually now, after I kind of said, yeah, I want to do this, I got these other devices that are in my house. So the standard Nest Audio, the old Google Home is showing up on here, the Google Home Mini, all of our displays and everything at our house. There's a toggle switch for all of them. So I guess it's just a new cloud-based thing. I mean, it's not that big of a deal for one of these devices to be able to pick up those sounds, but that would be in the Google Home Premium subscription. So again, whether you have AI Pro, you got that bundled in there, or you just go get this by itself, that sound detection, if that sounds interesting to you, is going to be something you'll want to sign up for.
Things you can do. Continue in the Google Home app.
Wow, that was that's full. I didn't mention this in the early part because I wasn't even sure exactly how it was going to work, but we still get the touch top controls for volume, and assuming a play pause kind of here in the middle. We're going to crank some music on that. But just the way this thing was like, hi, I'm ready to help you. Like the spoken voice of it sounds so rich and full. Now, again, I'm not expecting like Google Home Max here. I'm not expecting like this massive sound, but I think Google's had enough iterations of this thing to expect some pretty good sound out of this. It's also a 360-degree sound, so it's going to sound the same over there, over here, over here, over here, which is very nice. So you put it in kind of a central location, it's going to sound really nice. There's a nice little, let me make sure my brightness is down. There's a nice little kind of getting started thing once you get through your setup that kind of walks you through a handful of things as far as like the features of it and stuff, which is nice. Let's explore the new light ring. Learn more. I don't really want to learn more about it right now, but it'll kind of help you walk through some of that stuff. So you get a nice little brightness toggle for your light. So you can see it's a little dimmer here. Oh, the brightness, when you're doing volume, the brightness goes with that. So let's see, full brightness. Hey, never mind.
All right.
And then we'll turn the brightness way down. Hey, it's a little dimmer. Doesn't seem like it's that dim, but again, these are all things we're going to play with for the review. Might control the orange light that indicates the mic's off. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice addition too. So that little orange light that's always appeared on Google Home devices, when you turn the mic off, it just has a light sits on there. Makes everyone go, why is that orange light on there? That you can turn that off. So let's see. I'm going to turn it off. We're going to kill the mic.
The mic's off.
Yeah, no orange light. That's a nice addition. Now, I do kind of like it being on there, honestly, so that you kind of know there's a glow down here on this one that tells you, hey, the mic is not on, so that you can kind of see it and know for sure. Let's see if my brightness adjustment works now. Not really. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I kind of saw it go down and up again. Whatever. It's a basic thing. Obviously, this is just going to kind of glow whenever you're doing stuff. All right, so let's see what this thing sounds like. Hey, play me some royalty-free music from YouTube Music.
All right, playing 12 hours of copyright-free music. Free background music for YouTube videos and content creators on YouTube Music.
The spoken voice sounds so good. It just sounds so good. Yeah, that's nice. Like rumbling the desk a little bit. So I'm gonna turn it around. Yeah, sounds the same everywhere, every direction. I can hear separation. You know, I can hear the guitar, I can hear the underlying stuff, I can still hear a little bit of the conversation thing, that the little track that they were playing. So it's got a nice, rich sound to it. We're in a decent sized room here. I mean, if you're hosting people, you just need music going on in the background, this thing is gonna more than provide that for you. And again, the middle button definitely works as a play pause. I'm curious if, no, I didn't know if maybe a long press would pull up the hey thing. I'm gonna have to stop everything. Cancel. Hey, what's the weather look like for this weekend?
It's 74 and sunny in Elizabethtown right now. This afternoon will be mostly sunny with a high of 79.
What about this weekend?
This weekend in Elizabethtown, you can expect thunderstorms with highs in the upper 70s on Saturday and highs near 89 on Sunday.
Okay, that sounds great. Real quick, what about Louisville, Kentucky? We might be going up there.
This weekend in Louisville, look for heavy thunderstorms on Saturday with a high of 82 and a low of 72. Sunday will be warmer and...
So I really do like you can tell the ongoing conversation works. You see this light glow underneath here. You know, you can just keep talking to it. You don't have to re-prompt or anything like that. I also have to give it prompts for saying Louisville, because that's, people around Kentucky say Louisville. Even though for most people would look at it and say it's Louisville or Louisville or something like that. We all call it Louisville. And that's how it pronounced it. So props to Google for getting that part right. So there's a lot to explore with the speaker. I'm very impressed by the sound of it. I like the way it looks. It just kind of looks like a blown up Mini, the Home Mini, the Nest Mini, whichever one you had. But it sounds, we'll definitely put this against the Nest Audio. I feel like it's going to hold its own for sure, and it's 360 degrees. The LED is just this awesome touch, this glow down the bottom. It helps you know that you can still interact with it. It helps you know when it's listening, all that kind of stuff. I think this is going to be an absolute knockout for anyone looking for a smart speaker, something they can cast audio to, that kind of stuff. I think Google's done a good job of putting this together and maybe even holding it back a little bit until they knew that Gemini was ready, till the hardware was ready, because there is some stuff going on under the hood here too that allows some of this interaction, some of the ongoing interaction with Gemini to happen locally on device versus everything having to go to the cloud. Now, for weather, for instance, you saw it thinking it's going to have to go to the cloud to get weather information. It doesn't hold all weather information on it, obviously, but the conversational part of going back and forth with Gemini, that stuff's happening here. And that's important if you're going to have a conversational assistant. So I'm looking very forward to spending time with this thing, getting together a review, doing some side-by-sides with other smart speakers. But for now, that's it for this one. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Head down there, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.